Okay, everybody. Hello. This is Michael from Cabin Improvement. We're starting a little bit late due to technical difficulties, i.e., my laptop was frozen. But we are going to be cleaning up this corner of my garage. And then I'm going to be sanding a little bit more on the cedar bench. And then hopefully doing first layer of stain on the top. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Gonna be listening to some St. Louis Public Radio jazz channel, and give me 1 second to set up a little bit better, and we'll get this started properly. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. There we go. All set up. Working in my garage. Got to be cleaning up the cedar bench. Cleaning up this corner first. But listening to St. Louis Public Radio. Just chilling in my garage. Cleaning up my workspace. Cleaning up my life. You know the deal. So, actually, I gotta get this saw out of the way. Grab up some of these tools. Power tools out of the way. So these things I was using. Don't need this big sander anymore. But we'll get this drug over for the camera. Get this nice there in the light. Okay. Take this rip saw out of the way as well. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I am. It's pretty cold, but I'm managing. Okay. Get some better sandpaper out of here as well. .220. Okay, so goal is, besides staying warm, is to sand down this cedar bench, do all the fine detail sanding, and clean up this top face real nice, real smooth, and then we'll get it stained, and hopefully it'll show out that beautiful wood. So, we restarted this bench about a week ago, and I'm gonna be finishing it up today, hopefully tonight. Turn the music down just a tad. Okay, so cleaning that up just a little bit. Cool. Okay. So now, doing some more sanding. Got some 220 here. Really try to get top edge real nice and smooth. Then we can do a layer of test stain, and then see where it goes from there. Cool. We're listening to St. Louis Public Radio, the jazz channel, no politics. But yeah, just doing some woodworking, polishing off this cedar bench. And anything that feels imperfect to my hand off this top edge, and then we'll do a test stain. So. Cool. That's pretty good for now. So, pretty good on that top face. We do on this front edge as well. Some imperfections here, but they're pretty minor, so. Cool. And I think that's about all she wrote. Edges are all nice, pretty well rounded. Did that with 220. I'm gonna step it up to probably some 300 grit. Just get last little bits of the edges rounded off the best I can, get all the little burrs out, then we'll be ready to stain. So, it's a real nice piece of cedar. This is a cedar bench. Got when I bought this house. But yeah, we're just cleaning it up. And, cleaning out my garage while we're at it, and we'll call that good. Sorry, just typing up some notes for myself real quick. I need to detail sand top of bench just so I can show some progress. And then 3, I want to do a test stain top of cedar bench.
jazz favorites are always here for you on Jazz 90.7 KWMU2.
Yep, we're listening to St. Louis Public Radio, no politics, just some NPR and chill. And it's a pretty nice night. It's a little cold, but pretty nice night. On step 2, now I'm doing some detail sanding on the cedar bench. And we'll see what continues from here. Just listening to St. Louis Public Jazz. Gotta grab a drink real quick. But yeah, thanks for tuning in if you're here. If not, doesn't matter. This is for me. This is not for you. Just cleaning up some wood, cleaning up my garage, cleaning up my life. Okay, everybody and nobody, I am back. I am continuing to sand on this bench. It's got some 220 grit sandpaper. It's a real nice piece of cedar I have. And all the last little bits of imperfections out of it. And then I'm going to take some finer sandpaper to it. And then I am going to stain it. Oh, that feels so nice. I love the smell of the cedar burrs too, or the sawdust really. It's really aromatic. Okay. I think that's it for the 220. I wore that sheet out pretty well. But, you know, we'll continue. Get some finer. We'll go to 300 grit. Just a real quick dusting from this from the top, excuse me. Again, really just want to sand this down. I don't know how well the camera can see in this light. Okay, there we go. That's a pretty good angle. But you see, the cedar's real light. So I want to keep it light, but we'll sand it one more time. And then we'll put a coat of test stain on it and see how it looks. So over here, my woodworking cabinet, you can't see it very well, but I have a whole bunch of sandpaper. It's 80 grit, it's 220, it's 120, it's 220. Where's my super fine? Ooh, here we go. So I don't have any super fine sandpaper. What I do have is steel wool. And this is 00 and quad 0. This is honestly overkill. But when you want to sand something down real smooth, you can get 0 grade steel wool, and it's graded like 0, double, triple, quad 0. And this is a real fine sanding surface, and they kind of come condensed in these little pads. so they're easy to hold in a hand or a glove. But I'm going to use this 00 sandpaper, and that's going to be honestly overkill for detail sanding, because this will take off the extra fine bits, and honestly it's got to leave a little residue. So, but honestly, now that I'm dragging across the top of it, I can feel some resistance, and I can feel a couple little snags, which means that this fine detail sanding is worth doing. So just kind of cupping it in my hand, doing it real firm. Get all these top sides, honestly, because the sides are important, but this top is what everyone's got to be looking at. So gotta make sure it's as good as I can get it. All the imperfections out. Get it dead smooth. Get all these corners rounded off real nicely, so if you sit down on it, it doesn't jab you in the leg. So yeah, this steel wool, real great for finish sanding. It's great for metal too, because it can take off a lot of the little burrs and imperfections. Like, yeah, a grinding wheel's a thing, but you need to just like rough up or smooth down something, rather, just a small finished piece of metal, steel wool's your best friend. So, and I can see the dust coming off over here. You can see the dust coming off when I drag it across the top, which means there's a bunch of little burrs that my hands can't feel, but this double-aught steel wool can. So, move this kerosene heater. Honestly, gotta move this table just a tad. So, cool. Yeah, so Michael, if you haven't tuned in before, just doing some late night woodworking, starting this channel just to show some self-improvement and you know, clean up my garage, clean up my life, listen to some NPR and chill. But yeah, we got this cedar bench here, and we're almost done with task number 2. We've almost detail sanded this top, and we can get some test stain on it. Have to find whichever one I want first. But yeah, just rounding off these corners. And then yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's Friday night, middle of nowhere. Cleaning up my garage, cleaning up my life. And man, this cedar bench smells great. Like, it just absolutely smells great. Cool. So I've just kind of cut the steel wool around all the edges. I'll dust it off real quick. Oops, I just dropped that. Dust it off real quick, and then I think we'll be ready for some test stains. So, quick little dust with the shop rag. Then honestly, I may wet this shop rag real quick, because the cedar's a little porous. Well, I mean, all wood's porous, but I'll just get the last little bit of sawdust out of here, tag that moisture, and then I will do some test stain. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna check a message from a friend real quick, and then I'm going to go get that stain from the other room. Honestly, I may have to grab some kerosene, because this kerosene heater I have here is running a little low on fuel, and it turns out my laptop doesn't like it when it's 30 degrees in my garage. So yeah, let's just see what's going on.